Yeah. Yeah. I haven't given you one of these in a minute. Here you go. It's been forever since I recorded anything. I actually did record a bunch of stuff and then transferred it to my phone or computer, one of the two, and then deleted all of it just to make space. Not even because I was like, I'm not happy with this thing and how it came out. It was more to make space on whatever I loaded it onto, either my phone or my computer. So, it's been too long, and now I just have to try and play catch up on everything I did. Everything that's been going on in like pretty much the last 6 weeks. I think maybe even more since the last time I even posted anything. So, I wonder how much I really want to say. I guess if you can read between the lines, I got validation on kind of what I suspected all along. I got that. That was probably 6 weeks ago. I got validation on what I suspected all along. And that's about as much as I'll say about it. And you can read between the lines if you've been friends with me for more than, probably 6 months, maybe less, maybe 4 months. If you've been friends with me for more than 4 months, you can read between the lines on that. And if you've been friends with me for less, then feel free to ask me in person and I will tell you all about it. But the validation was good. I talked to a friend tonight about it. You know, his first thing that he said was, why would people even want to tell you that? And my response to him was, it was good to get that validation of it. And also those same people that told me were saying like, hey, you're a really great guy and, you deserve really great happiness. So, that shit feels good to hear. And honestly, everything that happened led me to here in Billings, Montana, which I am falling more and more in love with this place as the weeks and days go by. I absolutely love it here. I am never, ever, ever, ever going to live in New England again. That's not to say I'll never be back. I'll be back plenty. I only have one planned trip to go back this year. But I'll probably still go back 2 or 3 times a year. I have no intention to never go back, but I will never live in New England ever again. I don't know what that says. No intention to ever live in New England again. Probably not anywhere in the Northeast. I talked to a buddy tonight about, I'm going to live in, he's looking for housing. Like he wants to live in a house. And I told him, I love apartment living. I absolutely love apartment living. Because you know what? If that oven were to break tonight, then it's not my problem if that happens. If the refrigerator breaks, that's not my problem. If the roof starts leaking, if it snows, I don't need to shovel. There's all these things that come with it. So I'm never gonna not live. I expect that I'll live in an apartment for the rest of my life. My neighbors here are fucking awesome. The couple next door is great. I met the girl that lives upstairs. She's great. I haven't really met, I guess I've kind of met some of my other neighbors, but I couldn't tell you their name to save my fucking life. But I live in a great area. Many of you have seen the pictures that I take off of my back patio. I just live in a really great area. So I don't see myself moving out of here anytime soon. Definitely, probably by the time November comes and I have to renew my lease, I'm sure that I will renew it. The only thing I noticed tonight, I stepped outside to watch the sunset, and I noticed that the sun has shifted, as it does. So it used to set almost perfectly. I'd walk out my back patio and it would be like over here. And now it's more over here. And I wonder just how much further it's going to go. Like come July, am I even going to be able to see the sunset from my patio? That's what I'm wondering right now. That is the only thing that I've considered as far as if I would move from where I'm at. If that were to happen, then come July, I'm going to be looking around some of the other buildings around here, and they're probably not available, but I'm going to go to whatever property manager is there and say, hey, when this becomes available, when this specific apartment becomes available, please let me know because I'm interested. So, work has been great. So since the last time I posted on here, posted a video, I made full-time regular again, which is great. It's exactly what I wanted. It worked out almost exactly how I planned. I had a pretty good feeling that I was going to transfer out of New Hampshire, transfer to here, be a PTF, which is a guy that doesn't have a full-time spot, doesn't have a regular route, and it would take me a couple months to get back to having a regular route. Well, about a month ago now, I got that assignment. I got reassigned to being full-time regular, which is great. I mean, nothing, when it comes to financial stuff, none of that changed throughout this whole process in the last few months. None of that changed. I kept my health benefits. I kept my vacation time, my sick time. I kept all of these things, but I just didn't have that title. And I figured it would take about 2 months, and it did. It took almost exactly 2 months to convert back to full time. The problem was that they shifted me to a different office. So there's 4 post offices in Billings, Montana. It's a lot like Manchester, New Hampshire. Manchester, New Hampshire, big city, and this is the case with all cities across America. If you're in a big city, say more than 50, 60, 70,000 people, maybe even more than that, you'll have multiple post offices in that city. So Billings has 4 post offices, and they transferred me, they assigned me to a different office, and I did not want to leave the office that I was assigned to already. So I was able to stay in that office temporarily until a position opened within that office. During my temporary stay, a position opened and I successfully got it. So I am back to being a regular mail carrier with the same route every day. If I can get back into it, I can keep these up where I do them every day, because that was what happened with the break in doing this. Was I was in a vehicle where I could very easily every morning record a video, and it was nice and quiet in that vehicle, so the sound quality didn't suck. When that route that I was on got bid to another route, I was in one of the shitty post office vehicles, the one everyone knows and loves. I was in one of those, and it's so loud in those trucks, the audio quality was fucking terrible. So I was able to, I successfully got a new route with a quiet van, so maybe these will go back to being a daily or semi-daily thing. So outside of that, a lot of soul searching lately. A lot of what are my personal boundaries. It's not as easy as I would hope. I'll put it that way. Because I feel like I'm wrestling internally with an old version of myself and a new version of myself. I relate that to boundaries, because I think, I had a lot of bad boundaries in my, in the 2010s, in my 30s. We'll just round down and call it in my 30s, right? In my 30s, I had a lot of bad boundaries. a lot of bad behavior. Some of you, unfortunately, are privy to it. And now I've changed over the last 3 or 4 years. I've had significant changes in my mentality, in what I'm willing to accept for myself, in what I'm willing to accept from other people. And I find myself these days wrestling a lot with that, with like, it's almost like that old version of myself is pulling me to come back. And this new version of myself is saying, no, you're on the right path. And, so much of me wants to be like, fuck the right path. I don't care. Fucking, I can have a bad morality and, hell is probably, I'll be in good company in hell. Who cares? And then there's this new version of me that's like, you have to be willing to accept whatever your boundaries are, and you need to stick to them. You need to set those boundaries and say, these are mine. This is what I'm willing to accept. These are my deal breakers, and I'm not going to go down that path again of being just essentially a bad person. It's been it's not as easy as I would like. I'll put it that way. It's certainly not as easy as I would like. But I guess at the end of the day, I just have to be able to live with myself and be able to go to bed at night knowing that I'm doing the right thing, whatever that is. So that's kind of a Cliff Note version of what the last few weeks, last 6 or 7 weeks has been like. Obviously, a lot of great sunsets. I've met some new people. I've made new friends out here and been going out and hanging out with people. And I'm running my first 5K tomorrow. Today is March 16th. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Running my first race in Montana tomorrow. Super excited about that. I honestly thought that my next race was going to be the marathon that I signed up for. And a guy that I work with, this guy Caleb, super cool guy, he came up to me one day a couple weeks ago and said, hey, actually what he said was, are you going to do this race? He already knew that I ran. I guess he just automatically assumed I knew about it, which I didn't. So he said, are you going to do this race? I didn't know anything about it. He sent me the info. I signed up for it. And so I'm going to go run it. It's a 5K, and it's it's weird. The race is at 1 p.m. Like every race that I've done has been pretty early in the morning, 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So that'll be cool. I got my new Tree of Life glass here, very Nordic. But yeah, that'll be cool. I'm gonna go do that, and then tomorrow is me and my sister, my dad, and my nephew are doing our monthly dinner together. So basically I have to do this race and run home, which kind of sucks. The timing of it sucks, just because I'm sure that I'll meet people tomorrow that might want to be like, hey, let's go have a beer or whatever, and I gotta run home. But it's for an important reason to run home. But I'll grab some phone numbers and meet some people. But I will, I'll do that race. I don't know how I'll do. I would like to think I could do that race. It's a 5K, that's 3.1 miles. I mean, if I could maintain a 9-minute mile throughout, that would make me happy. I know that I hate 5Ks. I don't like doing them. I hate 5Ks. Because I consistently will burn myself out in the first half mile. So the half marathon that I did in October, best race I've done. I love half marathons. I don't think that I'm gonna like a full marathon more than that, but who knows? I probably thought that the first 5K I did was my best race, so I don't know. But nonetheless, I don't like doing 5Ks because I burned myself out right in the beginning, immediately. And I'm going to try to pace myself right off the start tomorrow and see how it goes. But either way, it'll be fun. It'll be a cool little run. So it's about all I got going on. What are we at? I don't know, 15 minutes or so. I thought that this was going to take an hour. I kept a bunch of shit out that I really want to work out. But maybe it'll get worked out in therapy because I'm going to have to bring it there instead. Just know that it had a lot to do with that whole boundaries one way, boundaries the other way. You know, old me, new me type of thing. So, whatever. For anyone hoping that Adulting with Donnie is going to be coming back anytime soon, probably not. This is about the best you're going to get because I can do this real easy. I can just launch my GoPro real quick and talk for 10 or 15 minutes and be done. Get some thoughts off my mind. Hopefully provide you some entertainment for a minute. And hopefully get some feedback on, hey, this is how you should deal with this situation. But that's my life. That's my life here in Montana. And I can't express how much I love it here. I love it. I bought my first gun the other day. Bought my first Montana gun the other day. Not my first gun. Not by a long shot. But my first Montana gun I bought the other day. There's a store here called Shields. It's kind of like Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop. You know, it's just a huge Walmart-esque store that is, you know, outdoor sports. I mean, they have fucking everything. I bought running shoes from them too. Bought some running shoes. I bought some Montana stuff to send back east. Bought a gun, got a light for that gun, got some ammo. What else did I get? Yeah, that's probably about it. But I mean, they have fucking grills. They have cooking utensils. They have camping gear. They have weightlifting equipment, which honestly, I walked through that section and I was like, oh, I think I have some ideas for my second bedroom. They just have a bunch of stuff, but nonetheless, I went there the other night. I walked in at 8:30 at night. They close at 9 o'clock at night. I walked in there at 8:30 and I was like, look, I know the gun that I want. Do I have time? And this guy, without a second thought, goes, you have plenty of time. And I picked out the gun that I want, and he goes, do you want anything else? And I go, let me take a look around. Or what I said was, do I have time to look around? He goes, hey man, we got a half an hour. Go ahead. Like, he did not care. I mean, they were so great. These people were fucking awesome. So I looked around. I did find a couple other guns that I want, but I didn't want to buy that night. So I put them on the list, got my gun. Process was crazy easy. No filling out a paper. One of my problems with buying guns in the past, I'd always buy guns and then I got to fill out a form. You know, everyone knows that you got to fill out a form. 40, 45, 70, 44, 70, something like that. You got to fill out a form, and every single time that I fill out this form, I would fuck something up and try to write over it or try to, you know, correct it in some way. And I ended up filling out so many of these forms because if you try to correct something, they're like, we got to start over. So, but over there at Shields, all computer. Just type in your shit. So, super easy process. The people were so friendly. It happens to be less than a half a mile away from where I live. So, I'll be back there plenty. But got my first Montana gun, an HK P30 SK. This gun right here. Yeah, I like it a lot. I bought a light for it that night. It was a Phoenix something is the brand. And it's about the same as a Streamlight TLR7. But it was brighter. It was supposed to be brighter. That's what I liked about it. So I bought it and it happened to be cheaper. It happened to be almost half the price. It was like $90 versus $150. So I got that as a light. I bring it home and attach it to the gun. It's great. I really like it. Problem was, I get online to Black Rhino Concealment, which is who I go through for holsters. I have several holsters from them. I've probably bought, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 holsters from Black Rhino. And I get on their website, get a holster for the gun, and when I get down to the section of what is your light, that one is not listed. So I emailed the owner, because I'm friends with him too. I emailed him and I said, hey, you know, I got this gun, I got the light, but the light's not listed. Can you make it? And he says, no. He says, for us to make that with that light, you're gonna have to send us the light. And I mean, now you're looking at, you know, a week to get there, a week to get back, and 4 or 5 weeks of making the holster. I want the fucking holster now. So I went back to Shields the next night. I said, hey, I got to exchange this. I exchanged it for the Streamlight TLR7. Exchanged the light. They only said, is there something wrong? I said, no, there's nothing wrong. The light's great. Problem is that my holster company doesn't make a holster for it. And they said the problem is that that light manufacturer is a new company, so no one's really making holsters for it yet. So maybe they will someday, but for now, I don't care because I got TLR7. So exchanged it the next day and got the new light, brought it home. I like it. It's just, honestly, I mean, this light, supposedly, the Streamlight is 500 lumens and the Phoenix that I got was 600 lumens. I can't tell the difference, you know, I really can't. So, less lumens, twice the price, but I got a holster. Well, I don't have the holster yet, but I ordered the holster. So that wraps up all my big news, anything that I could possibly say. So I hope you all are doing good, no matter where you are, New Hampshire, Montana, anywhere in between, anywhere south or north. So I'll check in with you soon-ish, I think, maybe. Okay, bye.